Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Gravity Rush 2. I know it's a PS4 game, just give me a second to explain myself. So, I'm gonna have to start diversifying out eventually, right? Doing games on different systems, and Gravity Rush 2 just feels like the most appropriate game to do it on. Mainly because, well, it's a successor to one of the biggest titles we had on the Vita, so it probably is the best place to at least start. So, we're gonna go hop on in. I'm gonna load my game up because the last take went terribly. And we're gonna just, well, we're just gonna have a look at the game, obviously. I'll go to a side mission right away because luckily enough, the side mission I did in the last take was the perfect mission for this take. Unfortunately, it was at the arse end of the previous take. So, we'll just go and, like, fly around a little bit first before we go and do that. The loading times aren't particularly great, and they take a fair bit longer because the game has the annoying tendency to check online for stuff every time it loads up. So if you've got a particularly slow internet connection, you might want to turn it off while you're playing Gravity Rush 2. Although there are reasons to keep it on. We'll get into what those are shortly. The music started. This is actually some damn good music. Reminds me a lot of the Pleasure Quarter from Gravity Rush 1. So, let's just take a little bit of stock into what we have with... Ooh, Treasure Hunt! Yes, I was hoping one of those would come up. So, let's just take a little bit of stock in what abilities we have as Cat, the famous gravity shifter. Or, not really that famous, considering she came out on the Vita originally. We do have the ability to fly and change gravity into whatever direction we feel like. Which is great. Like, seriously, flying around like this just feels awesome. And they've tweaked it a little bit from Gravity Rush 1 to make it slightly more satisfying. But it's still notably clunky, especially when you get into tight spots. Like, the camera will go absolutely crazy if you end up in a tight spot by accident. Like, look at this, for example. Just, yeah, the camera's not really working for you there. Thankfully, there is a button, like clicking the right stick, that'll let you reset the camera, which works fine. You do have a few other moves. You do have the ability to dodge out of the way. You have the ability to pick stuff up, obviously, and you can, well, not obviously if you haven't played the series before, but you can throw it around to hurt people. You can do a gravity slide by holding L2, and it's just annoying to control, just like the previous game. Because it's really oversensitive, and it's entirely too easy to, like, get stuck on little things and just get thrown all over the place. Which kind of sucks. That was my fault. I did actively turn into that corner. You can also fight things using the square button. You can do things like gravity kicks in the air, and you can fight with your fists, obviously. Well, not with your fists, with your legs, actually. I don't think you ever use your fists in this game. You just use them little legs. Pretty great, actually. And that's pretty much the entirety of your moves. There is an ability to change your fighting style. One apparently makes you faster and less heavy, and the other one makes you slower, but you do more damage with your attacks. And they haven't given me to them yet, they haven't given them to me yet, which is a little bit weird, because I'm 5 hours in right now. Like, there's a statistics screen here that tells you how long you've been playing for. 5 hours, and I haven't unlocked any of that stuff yet. I've seen pretty much everything there is to see, like, just in terms of, like, general what the game's got to offer, and yet they haven't given them to me yet. It's a little weird. You do have a bunch of settings here. You can change how the camera works, including using the controller as a motion sensor, but I turned that off immediately and I did fine. You can change the control layout, and playing this game on remote play is infuriating, because everything works except the gravity slide. You can change where the dodge is to basically be in the middle of the touchscreen, which is perfectly fine, because moving to the middle of the touchscreen, then pressing a button afterwards is fine because the dodge has iframes. But even then, you can't rebind the gravity slide, so you have to hold the top left corner of the touchscreen and use the left control stick. It's infuriating. And you can change the difficulty anytime you want, and you can change the sound as well, which is nice. It all works pretty damn well. We'll get into the rest of the stuff as we go on, but for now, I want to go do a side mission. I have gotten Raven into the story at this point, and we will be seeing her here, including a example of the game's voice acting and the cutscenes.
Sui. Osha?
That's one of the simpler cutscenes. There are some more complicated comic book-like story scenes like from the first Gravity Rush, and I will play one of them right now while I skip all of this cutscene stuff, just going down into this level. So yeah, that's all perfectly nice. It's still got the style of the original Gravity Rush, which is nice because this series, considering there's only been one game so far, this game just maintains an absolutely lovely style, and it's the same style of its predecessor. A little bit more graphical fidelity to work with, but at the same time, they made everything a little bit bigger, and it's kind of weirding me out a little bit. There's a little bit thing going on with scale here, and it's just kind of weirding me out a little. But anyway, we're doing mining now, and mining is something you can do just outside of this area as well. You can just come to this like ship and mine anytime you want, and you can get gems, which are what you use to power up your abilities, which I'll show after this side mission. And the idea is that you beat on these things, and you get what are called talismans, as well as your precious gems, which you use to power up your stuff. And you can use these talismans to power you up. They each have their own individual abilities, and I will show that off shortly as well when the side mission's over, not to waste any time. The annoying thing about these bloody mining segments is that they take ages to bloody do because they're scattered all over the damn place. It's not like the loose crystals from the first game where you just pick them up whenever you feel like it. You have to go and beat the crap out of these things. There are loose crystals around the place on the world map, but other than that, there's not that much going for the actual mining, except for looking for all the different kinds of talismans you can get. They're procedurally generated. They're like RPG loot drops, more or less. So, yeah, they're kind of annoying. Apparently, you can merge them later on in order to make them more interesting talismans, but I haven't unlocked that yet either. And seriously, 5 hours of walking around with shitty talismans, it kind of annoys me, but oh well, the game's supposed to last at least 20 hours, so I'm not too annoyed by it. So we're gonna have to do that again, unfortunately. But we do get to do some, like, actual combat later on in this side mission, trust me, I know. And that'll be fun. It's why I've been using the gravity kick for everything. So, the combat still has the same weaknesses that the original game had, especially since you don't really seem to have any new moves outside of the different fighting styles, which kind of sucks. Just purely because of, well, I don't really know. It's just, they could have done to increase the game's variety a little bit more, and I'm not entirely sure why they didn't. They just seem to have, thought the original moveset was fine. And it does kind of share the same problem with Gravity Rush 1, where when you get, like, adapted to a specific move, once you spend all your upgrade gems, just spamming that move over and over again is probably the best thing you can do at that point. Like, For me, it turned out to be the gravity kick. Some people might get used to using throwing objects, and those are basically the only two moves that are worth anything. Actually getting on the ground and attacking things is like really, really like not worth the time, just purely because of purely because of the weak damage it does compared to a gravity kick. Gravity kick does like 4 times the damage normal hits do, and it takes like half the time. So yeah, it's it's still got a little bit of traditional gravity rush clunkiness as well. Like, there are enemies that you will just like gravity kick right past from time to time. There are just things like that going on. It is kind of annoying. There is an audio cue for when you're about to run out of gravity energy. It's just kind of annoying because I'm currently playing with like delayed audio due to the recording setup for all this, and yeah, I hear it a couple of seconds after I've already started falling, which kind of sucks.
11. Oh yeah.
These cutscenes are really bloody nice. I mean, seriously, the art is really just expressive. It really does give it its own personality. This will be the last set of mining that we have to do, and trust me, it is about this annoying on the stages where it actually asks you to like actively mine shit. It kind of sucks. They say that those guys are like supposed to be really fast, and well, they are, but at the same time, you can still take them out with gravity kicks. The game recommends you throw objects at them, but you can't take them out with gravity kicks if you really need to. The game performs fine. It holds a really steady frame rate. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 60 FPS, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 30 either. I can't really tell. But it really does look pretty. You won't be able to tell the difference between 30 and 60 because at the moment I can only record 1080p 30 or 720p 60 due to the age of the hardware I'm using, but not that big of a deal. I'll just, no, can't skip this cutscene, alright. Usually you're able to skip them, but this time we're not. Alright, so we've got to do this one more time, and then we'll actually get on to some combat. Unfortunately, it didn't actually recharge my gravity power, so I had to just wait for it to recharge. Alright. Gravity kick. Just try and get all of these. Down, please. Jesus. There. Bitch! Alright, you're not taking this one from me. I can just try and avoid completely overshooting the platform I'm trying to land on. It really does have that typical Gravity Rush clunkiness. Like, if you played the first game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, where 90% of the time it will work as expected, and 10% of the time something will just go weird and the result you want just won't happen for whatever reason. Just let my health recharge. Get back into it. My gravity meter recharge. Obviously, when it runs out, you can't do any gravity powers anymore. That'd be picking up stuff and throwing it, or just flying around. You will like fall to the ground. But thankfully, just hanging in the air for a couple of seconds completely refreshes the meter. I just got attacked by something, and now I can't bloody see because for some reason I'm being sent in a completely different direction. That's kind of shit. And that'll be the last one. Nope, it was actually me. Alright, so now I get to show off some combat. Combat is fun. It's about the same as the original Gravity Rush, actually. You actually fight human enemies this time around, but they're exactly the same, like, as the normal guys, except you can hit the little grunts everywhere, and then they bring along these gigantic robots, and you have to hit them in their weak spots. It's like, really? Alright, yeah, we'll just skip the rest of this cutscene. Nope, still can't do it via the pause menu. So yeah, these are the Navi, or the Scarabs. They call them something different in this game for some reason. And the basic idea is you hit them in the big blind weak spots. More or less, using whatever abilities you have available at the time. As I said before, your available list of moves doesn't really seem to change over time, so it does tend to get a bit repetitive after a while, especially since like the most effective moves you've got are either pick up an absolute ton of objects and send them flying in the direction of the general vicinity of the enemies and they'll all just fall over and die, or work your way in, gravity kick everything and they'll all fall over and die. There are some circumstances, like in the harder challenges, where you will probably want to just, you know, focus on like picking up objects and throwing them instead. There are challenges focused on doing that. There are challenges focused on only like gravity kicks. I haven't unlocked very many of said challenges yet, but I can show you at least one of them, which is just full-on combat. Here comes one of the big guys. And I'm just gonna run away before he has the opportunity to use that bloody cluster bomb on me. A couple of the enemies have got that, actually. Just gigantic area of effect attacks that suck you in. That's kind of annoying. But thankfully, we do have a way around that. I do have a special meter in the bottom left corner of my screen, and now that it's full, I can do this. If I press triangle, it homes in and just wrecks everything, which is nice. Use it on a big enemy and you'll take out the absolute majority of their hit points. Or their weak points. Whatever you wanted to call it. See, like that big guy's gone entirely now. But all my SP's gone. You also have the ability, if you hold down the circle button when you picked up an object to throw it, you get the ability to do like piercing damage. So, like, you throw and it hits really hard and it hits multiple targets, which is kind of nice, but at the same time you do kind of want to be saving. That was a good dodge on my part there. At the same time, you really do want to be saving it for your special attack, because your special attack is just that much stronger. The 90 to 95% of the time that it works fine. It's just a little bit repetitive because they really haven't added that much to it. Maybe the styles change up how the actual punches and kicks work and they make things a little bit more varied, but they really haven't added too much. But yeah, now that that's done, it's not going to make us do the whole flight back. Don't worry about that. See? Cutscene. So that was a side mission. There are other things to do. Like, in that mission, basically, it demonstrated mining, which was, more or less just go around and beat the shit out of those green things until you get bored of it, and you'll start picking up talismans, and I'm pretty sure we've got at least one there. And I'll be able to show them off once we've gone back to the actual world. Yeah, the loading times aren't particularly great just because of the internet connectivity and stuff. See? It's even got really nice background art.
Oh. Listen more. Okay. Listen more.
The voice acting is kind of neat. Yes, I am hearing it like a few seconds later than I should, which is why it takes me so long. But yeah, as we can see, here are some typical talismans, not particularly great ones. If we hit the options button, we can go into the main menu and check them out. So, we've got slots for 3 different talismans here. And they all have different kinds of effects. And apparently you can merge these later in order to make them more powerful. And there are ones you can find like as mission wars and stuff like that too, which is perfectly fine. See, that was a side mission. Now, we've got a bunch of power gems as well, and we can use that to power up our stuff. So, you can power up, say, your regular attacks, your super kick, your stasis field, which lets you, like, throw shit, and I actually do want to power up my stasis field, because that's quite useful. Your special attacks, your sliding, and your evasion. Like, you can do multiple dodges in a row and stuff like that. So yeah, you got plenty of upgrades to do. Your health and your gravity meter get upgraded every few missions, so the more side missions you do, the more likely you'll be better prepared for, well, whatever comes in the future, because I haven't played the entire game yet, so I wouldn't know, but yeah, it gets easier as you go on. Now, there are some online stuff as well. Like, this challenge here actually has a challenge from someone on the internet, and if I beat that, I'll probably get some kind of special reward for it. But there's another one that I want to demonstrate, because I've got a treasure hint, or a treasure hunt. And how these work is you use the picture as a hint in order to find the treasure chest. It's actually a pretty good picture, actually. Well done, mate. Didn't even know she had that pose. And it'll put us right down where the treasure chest is supposed to be, and we'll be able to listen for it. So, the annoying thing is, it'll be a couple of seconds behind for me. So, unless I can find the picture outright, then... not the picture. Unless I can find the treasure outright, I'm kind of screwed. Let's see. Okay, he's given us the actual treasure chest in the picture, so that works out pretty well for us. It will warn us if we're getting too far away, so let's see if I can see what is there. Is that the thing that was in the corner of his picture, or am I thinking, or is that a different thing I need to be looking at? We can make this smaller, but how does that help us? It's probably a different green thing like that. There is actually a good reason to help other people out by letting them find the treasure easy with your photo, so... Right, I'm starting to run out. There we go. I have to use my eyes. Damn it. Alright. And if I get too far away, it'll warn me I'm getting too far away, which is a nice little thing. Okay, I'm looking for the top of a building that has a orange part on it? A weird orange part, okay. Yeah, like this one half of it is, the top is orange. And is that it there? Or is this too far away? Hang on. Gotta land. Yeah, I'm getting too far away. What direction is it going to point me in? Up in that direction, okay. The treasure hunts are randomly generated, so it's not like I could just pick out a good one to demonstrate with. It should be relatively easy. Is that... No, that one can't be it. Right, but yeah, that just tells you where you spawn. Maybe it's around the other side of this building. What I'm looking for. There is a green thing. And that would be the thing on the side of the building. So the treasure's over here somewhere. Right, hang on. Let me land so I don't fall out of the sky. Okay. It's got to be a little bit down from here. There it is. So yeah, I got another photo item. I haven't actually shown off how the camera works yet. Which is nice, because now I can take a treasure hidden picture of my own to try and guide people into this area better. So I just need to find a good spot. And I'm not allowed to go too far away from the treasure, so... That's kind of the problem. So this is the camera. And you can't even put down, like, random photo items. And as you saw in the... photo we've been using, you can actually go into tripod mode, which will let you take pictures of yourself. And yeah, this would be a very unhelpful picture with Cat's ass literally blocking half the frame. So let's see, let's find a decent angle to take this treasure with. It's unfortunate because a lot of these buildings do look fairly similar. So let's see, how far can I come up here? Not very far. Okay, so... Alright. What about down here? Nope. They've put it in a very hard position to take a good picture of. They've done a decent job here. Alright. Alright, I got it. I know what I'm doing now. Put it down here, and then face it upwards like this. So now... I can show that it's inside of the really tall building with the billboard on it. Let's take that picture. And now I upload to the net and someone will get it. And hopefully they'll be able to find it. Neat system, actually. It gives you something to do. So I found Dusty Tokens. And what Dusty Tokens do is... What they do is, if I go to the system and then statistics again... I don't remember if I did it on this take or not. If you come down the bottom here, it says Dusty Tokens. And the more of this stuff you do online, the more of these you get. And you do get neat costumes and talismans and stuff if you get far enough. Which is kind of annoying just because of how many it bloody takes to unlock all that stuff. But, well, maybe it's all findable inside the game anyway under different things. So it'll just warp me back to where I was previously. And maybe I'll go do a challenge just to round it off a little bit. It's got the... It's basically Gravity Rush 1 again, more or less. I mean, everything that is good and bad about Gravity Rush 1 is about the same as Gravity Rush 2. It's really stylish, it's a fun idea, it works 90% of the time, but it's clunky, well, yeah, that's basically it, it's clunky. It's pretty clunky. The loading times aren't great, so let's go do a challenge. And I might as well accept the challenge that I got from the guy online. Yes, you pick up random people and throw them all over the place. If this was Grand Theft Auto, you'd have like a 4-star wanted level all the time. Okay, so... I have to do his challenge, apparently, so it doesn't really tell me that much about what I have to do here, so let's just go and do it. Oh, it's a replay. Alright. Oh, let's go grab shit and just throw it all. Yep, I can see his ghost there, which is quite neat. Grab more stuff. Just throw it all away. Just beat the ever-loving bejesus out of these things on the walls. The combat does remain satisfying, even if it does get a bit repetitive, which is nice. I tell you, I'll take satisfying over repetitive any day of the week. Apparently, I'm in the lead, which is nice. Really should just be throwing shit at all this, but. No, that's just not the way it's going to go for me today, is it? Now I can throw shit. Right, so it really is just fighting the ghost of the opponent. Alright, that works fine by me. I really should have tried this out before I went in, but chances are if I failed the challenge, it probably wouldn't have let me continue, which sucks. Yep, he's already over there. I'm probably not going to win this, but... You know me, I've never been very competent at, like, anything, so... Unfortunate for anyone who's decided to root for... Yep, I just got punched in the face and I lost. Thankfully, it does still count the challenge as being done, even if you do run out of health, which is nice. But yeah. I did get some Dusty Tokens for doing that, though, which is nice. At least it didn't, At least it wasn't like, you don't get anything, you suck. So yeah, that was a quick look at Gravity Rush 2. It really is just Gravity Rush 1 again, isn't it? It's got the same problems, it's got the same strengths. Which means it's still a bloody good series and a bloody good game and whatever the hell you want to do with it. It's a lot of fun just to fly around and beat the shit out of people, and the side missions and stuff are really varied. Like, you've got all sorts of like stealth shit going on, you can put out fires, you just got all sorts of random crap. Also, you can just, like, fall down into the other parts of the map, which is great. It's a nice, seamless transition. I can kind of understand why they wanted to do this and why they couldn't have done it on Vita, but still, it's a little disappointing that they didn't. We've got another thing here. It's a stasis field battle, so I'd have to do nothing but throw shit, which makes sense. But yeah, I think I've gone over the game well enough. It's fun. It's definitely worth your time. It's just a little bit clunky, and sometimes it can be pretty hard. But it's worth the effort to play. I wonder if I can take a decent picture. What? No, shit! Oh, well. Yeah, no, that's good enough for me. That's pretty much my entire channel in a nutshell, isn't it? But yeah, that's it. So, yeah, this has been Blue Maxima falling to his death. Nope, still falling to my death. Yeah, I don't need to go this way. Where the hell even are we anyway? Is this just like a gigantic like gas giant that exploded that none of us can see or something like that? I have no idea. But yeah. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.